Welcome back, everyone. This is Saving Money with Mira's Gardening Journey, and we're back for our second video in our seed starting series. I ain't gonna say series because I don't even do it consistently enough for it to be considered a series. But we're going to be starting some more seeds. I'm going to be talking about what happened with the seeds that I started a month ago. We're going to be trying a new method to start our pepper and tomato seeds. And so I'll get into, the details of that. But just, if I haven't said it in any of my videos, I have set a personal goal for myself to start everything that I grow this year from seed. And if you're seeing this and you're probably like, okay, wow, that's kind of lofty. It is. But I just don't. After last year, I don't want to buy any more starts from the store. I just don't. I don't. So we're going to see just what I can grow this year from starting everything from seed. So what you're watching take place right now is I found a way to start my pepper seeds from this content creator. I actually saw this video last year. This video is like a year old. I saw her do this last year, and it was around the time that I was considering starting my plants. I was very undecided. It was late in the season, and I just didn't try this method. But this year, because I want to grow so many of my own plants, I just wanted to make sure I ensured I had the right germination. So what you see is some cups with some warm water. I've added warm water to this, and I'm literally dropping the pepper seeds in the warm water, putting the saran wrap over it, and leaving it for 24 hours before I actually put them in, my seed starting mix and put them under the grow lights and all those things. I just got completely thrown off. So that's what you see. And so this content creator's channel is called Miss Yancey's Network. She is, from what I've seen, one of the best, right? This is YouTube. There are a gazillion of pepper growers out there. But I've just seen her process from like seed to like harvest. And this woman grows an insane amount of peppers. And so I was like, it won't hurt to do this. Now, the question that gardeners often ask themselves during seed starting season, what am I going to do with all of these plants if they germinate? And we'll essentially cross that bridge when we get there. I just wanted to make sure that my peppers have a great succession rate. All right. So these are the peppers that I'm going to be growing. I've labeled them. I put them in the hot water. They will sink to the bottom. So what I have been told in my research, the ones that sink to the bottoms are the ones that you actually know are going to have really good germination rate. If I come back tomorrow and they're still floating, I know not to actually sow those, okay? All right, so another setback that I had with starting my seeds indoors was just the fact that I've never started seeds indoors under grow lights before. So I had really bad mold issues. I had seeds that didn't even sprout. None of my onion seeds sprouted. I lost all of my brassicas. I only have about 2 or 3 that are still alive. So we're just going to start over. I'm going to plant if I don't have a stupid amount of germination. If I didn't have it the first time, I'm planting it again. So what you're going to see is me basically plant everything that I felt like I didn't get enough of. Now, what I feel like I didn't do was really make sure that the seeds got contact with the soil like last time. I don't know. I'm just going to ensure that the seeds are really getting contact with the soil before I put the saran wrap. And so another thing that I think that I messed up with starting my seeds last month was the quote unquote humidity dome effect with the saran wrap. I believe the adding the small saran wrap over the smaller cup is just the best method if you're trying to go the very expensive, you don't have a humidity dome, right? You're essentially creating a greenhouse by, making sure that no air gets out. So there are going to be a few things that I incorporate over the next few weeks before these plants go out that I think will help my seedlings. If you stick around to the end of this video, you'll be able to see what survived and what it looks like. But for it to be 4 or 5 weeks since starting these seeds, I really just feel like my seedlings they just don't look their age, if that makes sense. I could be wrong. And if you're watching this and you say, hey, this is pretty, common for 4 to 6 weeks vegetables, then I'll be like, okay, well, we right on track. But there's just something about the way that they look, that just is like, I don't know if this is healthy. So I'm going to be incorporating a couple things in my growing setup. I'm going to be adding some aluminum, some reflectors to make sure I can get the light to stay in. The shelves that I have are kind of like deep. They have a lot of space in between each shelf. So I think that is going to help the seedlings and help more light stay contained on that shelf. I think that's going to be another thing. But what you're going to see me do throughout this video is essentially start another round of seeds. The broccoli, the collards, the onions. I'm actually very proud. Well, yeah, I'm proud of the herbs that I started to grow. But what you see me is like read the package, because I want to know how deep these need to be planted so that when I put them in here, they have a better germination rate. All right, so keep watching. right here, you'll just see me adding the saran wrap on top of the seeds that I just started. I think the biggest issue with the first round of seeds that I started was definitely the inconsistency with turning on the heating pad. Like, I didn't have it on a timer, so I had to pay very, very close attention because I feel like the heating pad only stays warm for a certain amount of time. So I had to constantly turn it back on. So I think the inconsistencies with the soil getting actually warm was a big reason to where my first round of seeds still didn't start. So I'm going to watch that a lot more closely this time. But I think they have a far, far, far better chance with these actual individually like saran wrap. And shout out to a subscriber or just someone who watched it and left a comment and was like, hey, try the saran wrap with the rubber band method. And at the time I was like, okay, that's a good idea. And I should have done that first. So shout out to you. Thank you, because I think this is going to help me in the long run. And it's the actual cheaper route. Like, I didn't have to buy a actual like seed starting tray with a humidity dome, which was a whole nother thing. All right, guys, here you have it. This is the results of my first seed starting first round of seeds that I started last month in January, okay? So this is all that's left. All the seeds that I started, these are all of the seedlings that are left. I have one rosemary. I have one basil. I have a lot of thyme that I'm still waiting to kind of get a little bit bigger before I thin those out. I have brassicas in the back. I don't know what they are. I do not know, which is why I'm so glad I've just started labeling. You see that one basil. This thing in front is like an eggplant that I started. And so tons of celery. I've uppotted some of the celery, but this is what I have, you guys. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. I'll be planting more and more and more seeds as the spring of 2026 gardening approaches. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hey, if you want to see what I'm growing in the 2026 garden, follow along. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, hype me up, leave me a comment. Let me know what you're growing this season. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.